Since I quit wearing my Raiders, I see better. If it's been a while.
We'll call this work session Monday, April 6th to order. Invocation given by Mr. Kinnemer and pledge allegiance by Madeline Stewart.
Almighty God, we give you thanks and praise for your great goodness towards us. We ask you to be with the mayor and council this evening as they go about the public business. Lead, guide, and direct them in all that they do. And Lord, we ask your special grace and protection on those of our military serving overseas and in harm's way. These things we ask in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I have allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
All right, number one tonight, discuss proposed policy changes for employee sick leave and insurance. Mr. Label, you can go over that.
Thank y'all for allowing us to present this, and each one of you should have a copy of the proposed items that we're discussing and the changes that's going to be involved. The first one, let's start with the topped-out sick leave amounts. Departments vary, but everybody has a top-out amount. And right now, if you've got any employees that are at the top-out amount, I'm just going to use ours for example. If you're at 1,520 hours on sick leave built up and you've been with the city 20-plus years, you have to take off 8 hours a month, the way it's currently written, so you don't lose it. And anybody in here would do the same thing. But we have a couple that are at that point that don't really care nothing about taking off, but they don't want to lose that 8 hours. So in this proposal here, all we're asking you to do and look at is when they are topped out, let those guys build that 96 hours they create once a year, and let's pay them for it at the end of the year. May not be 96 hours. They may still take 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, but whatever they accumulate above that top out amount, I think it would be fair if you see fit that they get paid for that amount and they don't just have to burn that day every month. That's the first one. If you want to go through all 3 of them, we will, or you want to ask questions at each interval, we'll do it however you want to do it.
So basically, on this part, all you're doing is saying we should offer a chance to buy back sick leave. Same as we do annually.
Absolutely, as they're topped out.
Yes, sir.
Only for
Come
top-
up with a policy for that.
Yes, sir.
And I would say you're saying that mainly because employees who don't want to take off are taking off anyways, which causes overtime at the same time too.
It does, and it causes, when you have certain routes that are done every day, kind of puts you in a pickle, you know, and if they don't want to take, they still have that opportunity to take that off. But if they don't want to, it helps us, and it also helps them keep them from losing it.
How many people you got in that position right now?
There's not gonna be a lot throughout the city, but there'll be more once, you know, we've got some that's got 1,400 hours. They may build it up and try to top it out. I don't know that answer. Never been here before.
And you're just talking about sick leave. You're not talking about the annual.
We're just talking about sick leave, just so they don't lose it if they don't take that day off. That's all that one is referring to.
I think it makes sense if you've got people that want to work.
I've got
Good
one in
workers.
particular, that needs to work, just at the state of mind that he's in at this point. And he's one of them that is topped out, and he don't care nothing about taking off. And I just think it's important that he don't lose that, because he's earning that every month. And you know, if he wants to build that up and pay it out at the end of the year like we do annual, then I think he should have that opportunity. All right, that's that one. The next one we're gonna go to, is paid sick leave. Right now, when an employee, you see the, current, you have a current and a proposed policy in front of you. Right now, current employees that get to retirement age, whether it be by 25 years or 62, whichever, they say fit, that they've got 10 years and they're 62. Currently, we pay, the city pays 50% of their accumulated sick time. This new proposal is asking you to convert the 50% that we pay to the state retirement. This is no new money. Let's make sure everybody's on the same page. This is absolutely no new money. What we're doing is changing the recipient of that other 50%. Instead of that other 50 going to the state retirement system, what we're asking you to look at and propose changing is pay that 100% to that employee. When you get to that stage of your life, whether it's the 25 years or the 60 years old with 10 years of service, that's huge. We're talking about life-changing things y'all are gonna be pondering today for an employee. The money's the same. Instead of sending that to the state retirement system, all I'm asking you to do is consider giving that employee that amount of money in their sick time. When they get ready to walk out that door, let's pay them for that sick leave instead of 50% of it going to their retirement. Again, same money, we're just changing the recipient.
Well, I see both sides of it. When I was with the county and when I left the county, I left 450 hours. They paid me for the rest of it, but that 450 hours, I didn't get. I got a check for the rest of it.
Absolutely. Well, the city employees are getting it. You're paying 100%. We're not asking you to pay anything above what you're doing now. All we're asking is that 100% goes to that employee when they walk out this door, rather than 50%.
Would it be
going
a
to the state.
choice?
Ma'am,
Would it be a choice, the employee's choice? Is that what you're talking about?
it very well could be, yes, ma'am. They could either still put the 50% to retirement or 100% on their payout, but I don't want to speak for everybody, but I don't think anybody will want to put that 50% toward the state retirement system, getting in increments of once a month. Again, that's why I don't want to be redundant, but that's why I'm saying these things you're pondering are life-altering. Giving somebody a check for that amount of time when they walk out of here, it changes lives. And these people are putting these type of years in with the city, and they're coming to work, and they're accumulating these hours. I think it's an awesome opportunity to give them a big thank you when they walk out the door.
I'm kind of like Donna, though, on this, and I don't get to say that much, do I, Donna?
No, I know.
I think if we were going to do something like this, they should be able to have that choice.
Absolutely.
So,
I never even thought of that part, but
Yeah.
a choice is a choice.
yeah.
Have you checked with the state retirement systems to see how it would impact the employee's retirement? We certainly wouldn't want to do anything that would keep people from being able to draw their checks or as much as they should be drawing,
Absolutely.
because there was a local policy that did something like this.
Yeah.
Has anyone checked with them?
I personally have not. I don't know if HR has, but
Well, if you'll notice in that policy, that's actually, the policy that is in our handbook, it's just adding this. It says you must choose either or their retirement, it's not very much money, you know, on the grand scheme of things. It's not gonna make that big a difference, but they have that choice if they want to do that at that time.
But that choice is on 50%.
Yeah, but that's all.
This is on 100% now, so there will be a difference in the pay.
That's all that the retirement system will allow you to roll over,
Yeah.
is the 50%.
Yeah.
When
You
I,
have to pay 50 already. Well,
What-
you don't have to, that's our policy. You pay 50, the state will allow you to roll over 50% of your time. And all we're asking is, you know, now, since he mentioned that, give them a choice. If they want 100% when they walk out the door, you know, that would be awesome. And if they want to put 50% still to their retirement, they have that choice too.
when I came out of workforce into RSA, if I'd have kept working, each month that I worked mounted $7 on your check.
You know, and I'm not knocking $7, everybody needs it. But if you can just picture real quickly with me, giving someone a check for that other 50%, which is gonna constitute 760 hours, man, that's big for a lot of folks. When it doesn't cost the city any more money, it just changes the lives of your folks, is all this is about.
Well, I see where you say it's not gonna cost, but it will. Because this other is based on 50%, because that's all we pay now.
Right,
This new would be based on 100%.
it will.
So it will cost the city 50% of sick leave
Well,
if we were to change.
We're already paying it. It's going to the other 50%'s already going to the,
Well, the way this is worded, it's only 50% that's either or. It's not 50 and 50. It's you make a choice of paid for 50% of accumulated sick leave, or you put the 50% to your RSA.
I'm gonna have to read it again. I apologize. That's not the way I understood it.
Okay, and I may be wrong. I'm reading it wrong, and that's why we're sitting here. And there may be that, I'm reading it backwards. Is it, you tell me,
So right now, they can get 50%.
because I don't do anything with anybody's retirement.
Right now, they can get paid 50% and the other 50 to go to the state retirement.
That's correct.
Is that the way it is now?
You have to choose either or that you.
Well, they would get it in the long run if you roll it over. If they've got 6 months, in my case, if they got 6 months, they would get an extra $42 a month
Tell me exactly what they're choosing.
for life.
What are they choosing here?
I don't know what
Or-
they're gonna choose.
No, what are their options? I'm trying to make sure we're clear on this.
Okay, they can either, you know, they'll get their estimate, figure out, you know, they can do a comparison, whether they want to roll it over.
Roll over 50% or get paid for 50%.
That's correct. I just read it again.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Okay,
I was
Okay.
wrong. I misunderstood it.
okay.
I thought we were doing payout of 50% and putting the other 50 in state
Yeah.
retirement.
Okay.
That's not what it says.
Okay.
So I was incorrect.
So we'll need to look at that some more.
We need to revisit it evidently, because there is a cost now.
You got people, this may be what you're talking about, I may have misunderstood, but you got people that's running over the maximum amount.
On the first item we discussed, yes, sir. And
Oh.
they don't need to lose it if they don't take it.
Another objective would be just to pay them for the amount over the maximum amount.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was the first thing he
Which will be up
discussed.
to
yeah.
96 hours. You know, we'll do it yearly. We're not
But
gonna.
the others accumulated stay like it is.
Yes,
It's
sir.
50 and 50.
That's the way it is now. Again, like I said, after just reading this again, so I had a misunderstanding of it. I thought we were rolling over 50% and paying out 50%. But I'm still gonna come back, so ponder it,
Yes, sir.
look at 100%.
All right, and then on this other page, the benefits and leave, it's basically,
The benefits leave, you see the current one and the proposed one. This is about paying a retiree's insurance from the time he retires to he reaches 65, a percentage of it. Where I do know this for a fact, we've got a few that's in my department that are eligible for retiring, but they can't. I ran some numbers today. Evidently, you need to double check me because I couldn't read the first one I just proposed to you, but I think if we could see fit to do this, pay a percentage of this, the city, the money that we'll save by letting a retiree that is topped out go and start back over at an entry-level position with them, I think it's gonna be really close to a wash. You know, right now, they're having to stay longer. Maybe some of them don't want to. You know, maybe they're at that age where they would love to go on. This is just gonna be another option. Hey, if you got 25 years in, or if you're 62 and got 10 years in, that 3 years, we'll pay a percentage of your health insurance and give you that option. If you want to go on, you go on. Because of the money difference in payroll from what the top out person is and an entry-level person, I think is gonna really come close to washing that benefit.
On the county had that policy when it was RSA 1. You had to have 25 years in it, and then they would pay it. And I know one individual that went out at 46 years old, so he's gonna get, what, 18 years if his insurance paid. That will cost you.
Yes.
But under this second phase of the RSA, they would only have to pay it from 60 to 65.
That's correct. And we're talking about, I think the policy says 62, age 60 with 10 years or 25 years, regardless of age. So that's pretty much what they had. If we want to stipulate that the retiree must meet the 60-year-old range, whatever, I still think it would be a benefit to a lot of these folks.
Now, that's the way it was when I was there. I don't know if it's still that way. I know some of them will want to take it away
Sure,
because of the cost in the long term.
sure.
And in the employee part, they paid 100%.
That's all this is in reference to, is the employee part, the retiree.
Maybe Monica could run some numbers for us and,
well,
check.
I know this is not something we can throw together real quick. I think it'd be best to take the two council that are assigned to the administration and put together a committee, and let's really dig deep on this and see what kind of numbers it's really gonna cost. Because this ain't gonna be something, like I say, overnight that you can just get those numbers, so. Anyone else have questions on any of this for right now? I do believe it's something we can bring back up at another council meeting, or council work session, once we have some numbers to look at to go with some of this, to see what it would cost. Me and Patrick, Mr. Stewart, are on the administration, so if we could get with Mr. Level, Ms. Green, and Mr. Roden and the mayor, and maybe we start having a few meetings on this and looking at this, and go from there.
Would you want to consider the 8 hours at the top out employee? Would you want to consider that now, or do you want to wrap this all in a package?
I think we just wrap this in a package, and, because it's all gonna be cost, and that way we can come back to all the council with numbers to go along with, this is what it would cost to do this kind of thing,
Sure.
and so.
And this is not just sanitation, this is citywide.
Yes,
It may
yes.
affect a lot of people.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have questions on this? We'll get that committee together and meet, and then we'll get back on a work session at a later date, okay? All right, we'll move to number 2, discuss the generator repair for the rec department. Mr. Level, you want to start that one?
Oh, well, the mayor has the information on this also, but, the quote that we received to replace the transfer switch at the rec department, is a 400 amp NEMA transfer switch in the amount of $32,073.62. That's quite an expense, but you're talking about a very expensive generator system, and right now, while we don't need it, it may not seem like it's at the forefront, but when we do need it and we don't have it repaired, it could cause real problem.
This is just a switch.
It's just a switch installed.
Mr. Ledwell, I don't have it in front of me, but I think he also provided rental numbers because of the lead time
Yes,
on
I've
this
got it.
actuator.
It's on the second page, and so, but I did talk with Mr. Potter about this, and also, I think that we need to make sure that we look at some kind of warranty, even if it's extended, what the purchase price would be on a piece of equipment like this, because of the cost, that we need to make sure, if we're gonna keep this thing, that we have a little backup plan.
I think it's a 12,
If we'd had an extended warranty on this, it would have covered this right now.
Is this the only one that Redcom got? It feeds the whole thing?
sir?
Is this the only generator that feeds the whole Redcom?
Yes, sir, this is the big one. It's a 12-week lead on the switch itself. That's why the rental's in there, that if we so choose to go ahead and, make sure that it's ready to go, and we can choose that rental option for 3 months.
Well,
Take our chance now, we can do that too.
well, they're expensive. I remember when I was at EMA, we got one for water, sewer, and gas on a grant. It was, the generator alone was around $130,000.
I think this one's way above that, north of that. It's a big, I don't know the exact number, but this is a huge generator.
Anyone have any questions, comments on this? We'll move that to next week's meeting then. Thank you. Number 3, discuss resolution to surplus police department property. Chief Godfrey.
2006 Chevrolet Blazer, shot tonight, find parts for it any minute. It's been around a long time. I think it started in the fire department, worked its way to the police department. So need to put that on good field, maybe to sell. Put the money back in the capital.
Okay. It's not much older than my truck. I don't know what the. Anyone having questions, comments on this thing?
Did you say it's a 2006?
Yes.
Okay, because this says 2011.
Oh, it says 2011 on this.
I'm just, so it is 2006?
Chevrolet Blazer, I don't know where the 2011 came
That's
from.
probably my mistake.
Okay. You got the VIN number there, so it's that one.
I can't read that, but I'm just checking. 2006 is very old.
Any questions, comments on that? All right, we'll move that to next week's meeting. Thank you, Chief. All right, number 4, announce adjustment and appeals board vacancies. Ms. Phillips.
We need to appoint 5 members to the Adjustment and Appeals Board pursuant to the Building Code regulations. There will be 2 positions for 3-year terms and 3 positions for 4-year terms, and these will be 4-year terms thereafter. Anyone interested should apply in writing to the city clerk's office by 4:30 p.m. on Monday, April 20th, 2026.
All right, thank you. And number 5, announce Goose Pond board vacancy. Ms. Phillips.
Scott Dobbins has resigned from the Goose Pond Board. This is a 6-year term. Anyone interested should apply to the city clerk's office by 4:30 p.m. on Monday, April 20th, 2026.
All right, thank you. All right. That'll conclude the meeting tonight. There's no delegations, so we'll go to reports. Mayor?
I don't have anything tonight, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Frederick?
Well, I do have a little something. I know Nita's gonna bring up the cleanup this Saturday.
Go ahead.
Well, it's Saturday, but
Yes, please.
this is, it's the same thing that I brought up last year about these advertising signs on the right-of-ways. Businesses that are, you know, saying they, I don't know, they're say, since I've seen so many gutters or whatever. But there's an ordinance against having advertising signs like that on the right-of-way. And to me, they're breaking the law. So it's funny that, legitimate businesses spend thousands and thousands of dollars legally advertising, and these people are actually breaking the law, and it's just my opinion, it's kind of strange that if you're gonna break the law, you're gonna put the name of your business and your phone number on there. I'm just saying that. But it's Sparkle and Shine Month, so I just wanna remind businesses that it is illegal to have these advertising signs on the right-of-way, and please stop doing it, and anybody that wants to can walk down the street and pick them up and throw them in the garbage. I've done it. I still do it. My grandkids laugh at me because I say, would you get out and pick that sign up? And they're like, no, Nana. But anyway, let's try to do something about that because they look really tacky in my opinion. And so that, I'll be the Sarah Betty, but I would like to ask Mr. Kinnemer to give the legal
Okay.
part.
City rights of way, political advertisement is legal. We really can't do anything about
Well, I'm
political
not talking
advertisement.
about
I'm going over the whole thing, Ms.
Okay.
Graham. I don't want there to be any confusion. Special event situations, like Art Sunday is Sunday.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. John's Gutter Service, which is on the intersection by Taco Bell, John's violating the law. Realtors are allowed to have signs on property that they are in the process of selling. And then the legislature has given them the right to also have directional signs showing where the property is. So it's not a one-size-fit-all, but it's a situation where most of the signs I see on the public roads are there illegally. Technically, if someone wanted to swear out a warrant, they could be prosecuted. There is nothing that keeps those signs from being removed. Now, there is an exception that if I choose to have a sign that says Steve Kinnemer Attorney on the right-of-way right in front of my office, that's permitted. But I can't put it in front of Gerald's office next door.
So if Chief Godfrey sees me picking up signs, it's okay.
So it's possible,
Certain ones, it's okay.
so it's possible you could be stealing signs.
No, that's not stealing.
You're keeping a crime from happening.
That's right, that's
Okay.
right.
Miss
Doing a
Sarah,
good deed.
Miss Sarah Betty Ingram had the same question quite often.
As long as you're getting all of them, right? You're not just particular ones, right?
I just get the ones that are close to the side of the road.
Not
that-
just certain
that look
people's,
really
right?
No,
Everybody.
not certain people.
Okay, just making sure. All right, Mr. Ashford?
I don't have anything, thank you.
Mr. Oliver?
Only thing I have is to remind you about Saturday at 8:30, cleanup. Like Ms. Frederick said, we need to make sure we're taking care of our city, and it takes all of us to do that. So I will remind everybody, 8:30. I will be here about 8, so come on out and help us. Thank you.
Mr. Stewart?
I still want to look at some sort of ordinance about Jake breaks. Still having folks call me, and I hear them. I'll be out there in Roseberry, and I can hear them coming off of 72 overpass. So can we get Whitney to look up some ordinances and throw it on a work session and discuss it? Mr. President?
Whitney, can you do that for Mr. Stewart? And we'll put that on the next work session. So
Thank
he
you.
can discuss his Jake breaks.
Thank you. That's all I have.
All right.
I do have one thing I forgot. Talking about the retirement and.
Yes, sir.
This happened with the county. I know I'll go back referring with them. I was there a long time. you had to be careful how you word it.
Yes, sir.
One guy that used to work for the city for a long time went to work for the county for about 2 years, and he said he would retire so he could draw their insurance. And he did for about 5 or 6 years. And he only worked there too, but the wording on it, it says upon retirement, you get the insurance.
Yeah.
That's all it said. So he retired. That's all.
Well, that's why I'm thankful we're blessed with Mr. Kinnemer to go
That's
over
right.
that for us.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate everyone coming out tonight. I'll remind you, next Monday, the 13th, there's a meeting, the 20th work session, 27th a meeting. So appreciate everyone coming out. Go home and cheer for Michigan tonight. We're adjourned.
Hey, Nita.